Alright, hey guys. So, quite a few people have been asking for sort of what builds should they go, what builds do I play, and that sort of thing. So this is a build I've been doing a lot recently, a huge amount since the new patch came out, which is taking advantage of the skeletons. So, we're going to start off with just a normal Rax expand, and then essentially take up into skeletons. And this is a build you can just use in your 1v1 matches. It works alright in 2v2. 2v2 is a bit more chaotic anyway. But it's really nice because it allows you to just siege up your opponent. It allows you to take just engagements however you like. It gives you really good disengage, so you can just block them off and back off if you need to. And of course, the relatively quick expand behind it is good for just getting your economy up. So this is a build I've really enjoyed doing. In this game, actually, I wall off kind of badly. I try and wall off this wide choke. It's actually a lot more effective if you wall off with a house here and then a barracks here, because your castle then just makes a nice long wall off all the way along here, which makes you a nice bit safer. So you don't have to scout with this build. I like to, but that's just personal preference. You're still pretty safe without scouting. So we'll just open up with a normal soldier archer and then expand. So what this scout also means is I can choose to follow up the soldier and archer to put on more aggression if I want, if I spot that I can get away with it, or sort of just stop there if I need to play a little bit more defensive, get my economy a bit faster. So Iron Dio is actually going to go for 2 racks here. Managed to delay it a fair amount, just poking in, being a little bit annoying. He didn't have a second worker down to block it. But he is now going to start to get a few units out, going to be a little bit aggressive. And sort of I don't actually see the second barracks, I just assume the first one is late. But there is actually a second barracks behind it. So what we do, as soon as we build those 2 units, just grab the expansion. You can see if I shifted these 2 buildings just here, it would block it off like really well, and they'd only have that entrance to come into. So fairly sort of standard racks opening for the most part. So we'll just speed this up a little bit. And we're going to have to back off. But he comes in, tries to delay. He delays my expansion by sort of a little bit, maybe 10-20 seconds, which is annoying, but in return we get a clean up most of this aggression. He didn't really take much advantage of his unit count, so that's, I think his macro is just a little bit off this game, didn't quite execute it. So we hold this 2 racks fairly easily. 2 racks is a build that can catch you off guard with this, but if you scout it properly, then you can easily just sort of throw down a tower, be alright. So we'll continue pumping out units, just put on some more aggression of our own. And as soon as this expansion's done, we immediately grab a Mage's Guild. So the basic idea is house, barracks, 2 units, expand. As soon as you have the gold after your expansion, keep building workers, and then just grab your Mage's Guild. So we can take a bit of a skirmish in the middle of the map here. Got a lucky engagement. Put a little bit of pressure on. And then as soon as you have the gold, ideally you'll start the skeleton upgrade. So you can see, so started that now. So this build takes quite a while to get going, but it is really quite strong if you can sort of get to this stage. So you'll want to go up to about 4 barracks total on 2 bases. So you can see I'm just going to throw these down now. You could possibly swap one of these out for upgrades, but the idea behind this build is we're just going to bury them under pure numbers, because we can have sort of 30 or so mages and then summon sort of another sort of 30, 60 skeletons or whatever it is, which is slightly insane. And just sort of absolutely bury them under numbers, and it's all just free HP, so very, very nice. I tend to grab the 3rd base here at about 630, just provides you with that little bit of extra gold so you can keep pumping and start to really sort of ramp up your economy. It's also just a nice follow-up because it opens up some more options having that extra income. So you can play this style two ways. You can either be a little bit more sort of slow paced and siegey and decide to sort of just spawn the skeletons, send them in, and just slowly grind your opponent down. You can also see they're really nice for just blocking units in like this. So, free pickup, this harassment's going to do nothing. But the way I like to play it is actually just use them aggressively. So spawn them in sort of behind the army, get a full surround, and then you can just go absolute to town with these mages. People are getting a little bit better at trying to focus down the mages, but if you don't burn all of your mana straight away, so maybe half your mana, what you can do is, as we'll see here, you can just keep blocking them off and just hold the army back, which is really nice. And these skeletons, they do 7 base damage, which is just ridiculous. They're basically just a summonable soldier, really. And you can see, just absolutely demolishes all of his units. He didn't have the best build here, but I've played against people with decent builds and it still works pretty well. And yeah, you can just keep wrecking through the space. Even if he does push you away here, just back up, get some more mana, and you can just keep pushing like this. It's really, really nice. And Fireball does kinda counter this, but you can actually summon, if you come in from 2 angles, you can get a full surround with your summons, and at that point Fireball doesn't do as much. You have to have good control against Fireball, but this style is really effective and really quite simple, so if you're looking for a build, you can certainly try this one out. It's actually pretty effective, and I've been enjoying it a lot.